Hello, AO, Accelerator Organization. I'm Joel Grandara and happy to start this mentor session. So let's jump right to it. Got my questions here. One moment. All right, here we are. The first question comes from Erica Wilkinson, and it is, what are things you have done to rid yourself of negative friendships and relationships? You know, Erica, it's funny. This must be an entrepreneur thing, an early entrepreneur thing. And I say that because I hear it from a lot of people that I coach who are earlier entrepreneurs. Once you've been doing this for 20 years and you've built a multi-million dollar business, you're probably going to be beyond that. And you're not going to be stuck worrying about negative friendships and relationships because you just won't have any in your life. I can tell you from my personal experience, I have no negativity in my life. I have no one that I don't want to hang around with. When I look at my calendar, everything that's in there, every conversation I'm having, every in person meeting, lunch, dinner, everything I'm doing is with people who I want to be with. It's a great feeling. And it's also with people that stimulate me and give me fantastic ideas. So so just know that that's the way it progresses and evolves over time. So going into deeper into Erica's question here, she says, I have a cleaning business and an e-commerce store, looking to scale up into real estate and marketing. I have previous friends in relationships, and when I tell them about what's going on in my life and my goals, they always seem to get negative or tell me that I should just go get a job at Walmart or that I think I'm better than other people or whatever. It's really hurting my feelings, and I'm trying to figure out how to overcome those feelings. Do I remove myself from those friendships, or what have you done to overcome those things in your entrepreneurial life? So it's hard enough to be an entrepreneur, even with support. Even when you have people encouraging you and giving you good advice and helping you, it's still really hard. It's like you're swimming in an ocean with big waves, right? That's really hard to do. I've done it before. It's really difficult. And these negative people are holding on to your feet, trying to bring you underwater. So it's already tough enough. Don't complicate your life even more. So so if you already have pointed out who are those negative people, you already know who they are. That's half the job, because the worst thing would be that these people are bringing you down and you're not realizing it. So you've done step one. You've realized who they are. Now here's step two. Cut them out. You don't have time. You know, if they want to hang out, sorry, I don't have time. That's it. It's as simple as that. What do you gain from being with them? It's fun, it's friendship, it's companionship. Well, get that from other people, people who are more positive. If you start connecting with people in AO, you'll start seeing the ones you click with the most. Odds are the great majority of the people in here are going to be a good fit just because you have so much in common, trying to build something, trying to improve yourself, trying to get to the next level. But you know, not everyone's a perfect chemistry match. But if you start looking through better groups, it's like, for example, somebody who might say that, you know, I can't find the right partners. Well, like long-term relationship partners, and you ask them, where are you looking for them? And, well, at 2 in the morning in a bar. Well, 2 in the morning in a bar, you're probably getting a bunch of drunk guys or drunk girls or whatever. So if you're looking for long term, that might not be the best thing. So take a look at where you're sourcing your friends from. And oh, by the way, I don't have, I don't know if any, maybe someone I might stay in touch with once every 6 months to a year from childhood, but that's it. Because there are childhood things and then there are adult things. And some people stay in those childhood levels. I've seen that. I've seen people who I haven't seen in 25 years and I will connect on Facebook and we'll have a conversation. We may even have a phone call. And I realize, wow, they have not changed. They're still the same little kid we were back then. They're still living in the same city. Nothing wrong with that, but they're living in the same city. They're doing the job their dad did. They just do the same old thing and nothing has changed. I look back even a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, I'm a different person all the time. I'm constantly evolving. And I made a point to share that with my wife. I told her, you know, as much as I evolve, as much as I read, as much as I'm learning all the time, I need you to keep up with me because I don't want to lose you. So that goes the same thing with friends, except for friends, it's not as intimate as a spouse where you're going to have that kind of a conversation. But that's how important it is for me to be in a level of people that can keep up with me. And I can't expect that of everyone. If a friend doesn't keep up with me, then we just fade away. No hard feelings, but we fade away. We don't make time for each other. And now I make the time for other things. Because every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. So if you're saying yes to hanging around with the wrong people, then you're saying no to hanging out with the right people or investing a little bit of time in finding who those right people are. I hope that helps. I've seen this myself in my own life, but I just didn't let it drag me down for very long. I've gotten really good at spotting negativity. I could be in a room with 100 people, and the moment I'm hearing negativity in a conversation, like, oh, hey, well, it was great to meet you. I'm going to go around and meet more people. Boom, and I move on. I don't want that. I want people who stimulate me, and I hope that helps, Erica, and good luck executing on that. The next person is Belle Donovan, and the question is, as a new product business, is it a good idea to incentivize new customers in order to make them a longer term customer? We sell magnetic eyelashes both online and in person. The reason I ask about incentives is because there are a lot of crappy products out there that people try and then they hear about mine and are reluctant to purchase because of those crappy companies. What are strategies to overcome that? Thanks so much. So, Bell, this is good because you're in a market that I believe you people have to keep replenishing it, right? They're going to keep exhausting those eyelashes. I'm sure they're good quality, but I'm thinking I don't know about magnetic eyelashes, but I'm assuming you put them on once, they last a few days, maybe a week at most, and then you take them off and they're worn out and you need new ones. Great business to be in. It's like diapers. You can't reuse them. If they're disposable, you keep using new ones and you keep buying them. Um, they're so to play devil's advocate, if your price is too low, people may automatically think, well, there's no value. They're probably no good. On the flip side, you could do a model like some of these razor companies, right? I bought some razors recently online from a company called Defender, and their initial offer is pretty cheap. I'm assuming if I go back to buy more razors, it's probably not going to be as cheap. But now I've got the handle. I've tried it. I liked it. It's good. So they could have locked me in with that. So as long as it is an item that has to be used over and over, and I'm assuming it's beautiful eyelashes for women, and once they use those, they're probably not going to want to go in public without it. It's almost like wearing a push-up bra. If you keep wearing a push-up bra, that's who you become, and then the day you don't wear it, then hey, what happened? You got deflated, right? So kind of thinking this through as I'm seeing it here. Uh, well, you could sum it up to a cost of acquisition. So let's say that you buy these a pack for $10 and you'd like to sell it for 30. But if you could sell it for $15, well, then your acquisition was $15 to get that client. And if you measure it properly, you can see, I still made $5. It covered my costs. I made a little bit of money and I got a new customer. And it cost me the difference of what I would have made to what I actually sold it for. But really, it didn't cost you anything because you didn't guarantee yourself $30. You bought them for 10. If you could sell it for 15, hey, worst case scenario, you sell it for $10 and you break even. But now you know I'm breaking even. It's really not costing me anything to get customers. I just break even. I have to pack it and ship it and send it off, or in person, whatever. But you do have to keep track that it has to be that's the initial price, right? So maybe that's a one-time coupon. I don't know how you'll handle that, whether it's through IP address or the account that the person sets up. We've done that in our e-commerce businesses. The only problem is people can set up new email addresses and new accounts, and they can keep doing this. So you'll have to figure out how you want to regulate that. But yeah, if this is the business that you're in and you're competing against crappy things and all you have to do, you believe that if you put it in someone's hands, they will be back to buy, then who cares? Who cares if you lose money on that first transaction long term, if you're really trying to build something long term? Hope that helps. So let's go to the next question. This is Roland Bernath, and I know I've answered questions from Roland before, or maybe one before, and it's about this. Let's see. Question is, how do I implement proper inventory management for my online store? My family's business is both an online store and retail store, comprised of approximately 20,000 items for sale in the retail store and approximately 9,000 for the online store. We are trying to create a system using software and personnel to manage the inventory. So when customers purchase either online or in store, that the inventory numbers are accurate and we can not only fill orders, but know when to order more inventory. I'm looking for recommendations on how you would set this up and what type of training and team members are needed for this type of operations. Roland, this is right up my alley. It's something I'm good at. Aside from being a mindset coach and helping people block out all that negativity and change their lives in that way, I'm all about process and procedure, and I've built software. I've spent almost $1 million of my own money building software that does this same thing. We don't license it out currently. We are in the early stages of installing it on some beta warehouses to test it of some of my clients. So, so I understand the dilemma. The complexity is that you have two locations, right? And you have to make sure that when people are ringing it up in the store, it's coming out of inventory. So what we've created, and I'm not saying you have to go out and write software, there might be a solution for this, is a central inventory hub. All the inventory is here, and then you have your retail store connected to it through an API connection. In our case, we have 12 Shopify Plus websites. We have Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and we connect to all of those. We're going to start connecting to Etsy. So we have expanded it. So what you do is you sold in the store, it feeds back the sale to the central inventory hub, and that feeds it back to the store to have the right accurate inventory, as well as to the online platform. And this can extend. It could go to Amazon. It can, once you build the foundation, you can connect this to many more things. So I don't know if it's in the realm of possibilities for you to create your own software. You've probably got to be selling millions of dollars a year and making, I don't know, $500,000 or more maybe to create your own software because there's so much expense that goes behind it. For us, it was worth it. It cut down labor, it cut down all of our mistakes. We've had zero picking errors, zero shipping errors from having our own warehouse management system and inventory management system all in one. Now, there are out of the box solutions that aren't as robust as like what we've built, but we built it for ourselves, so we did it really all out. So, but there are softwares like SKU Vault that helps you manage the inventory and organize your picking and packing. Um, there's multiple companies. If you'd like to email me, you can do that or connect through here through Facebook and send me a message. I can talk it through with you on an email. But there are solutions. Don't give up hope. Definitely don't think that doing it manual or however you're doing it is the solution. There's going to be something better, and technology only gets better. But here's something that applies to everyone, whether you're looking for something like what Roland is looking for or not. You asked the question, and you said, "Let me see if I can find where you said this." Um, Recommendations on how to set this up and what type of training and team members are needed. If you ever watch the McDonald's movie, The Founder, you'll realize that when McDonald's was built into a repeatable occurrence, right, where a franchise model where you can have 5,000 stores and all be consistent, there's nothing special about a McDonald's employee at all. They are a lot of the time young kids in high school, in college. They are not members of Mensa. They don't have the highest IQ. It's not necessary. Some of them might be brilliant. They might be really smart, and some very successful people have come out of working at McDonald's as their first job. So it's not to criticize them. The point is, you don't need special inventory people. You don't need special great memory people. What you need is a great system. Because in a great system, you can employ anyone to do that. And the beauty of that is your market to find employees is really big. If you have this system that relies on memory, because I see that all the time in my consulting business, I go to a big warehouse and they'll show me around and I'll say, well, I found some inefficiencies here, here, here. I think we can improve this, this, and this. And then they'll say, no, 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 I have Mike, and Mike's been with me 15 years, and he really knows where everything's at. Well, what if Mike gets hit by a car tomorrow? What if Mike wants you to double his income? What if Mike retires? Whatever. What if he wins the lottery? What are you going to do? And I've seen this play out with people who've hired me for a short term, didn't take me up on that advice. And I have a client now, a former client, who now reached out and told me that that number one guy, that Mike that I mentioned, is suing him. He's suing him for an injury that is fake. The whole thing's fake, but he's now up. He's in a corner. My friend who runs his 55 million a year sales distribution warehouse, and he's in trouble. And it's because he didn't build the right system and he depended on a person. So it's never about the individual person. You as the visionary or you're the integrator, implementer in your business, you're at that top level along with maybe some executives, but those are the ones that have to be the real impressive brain power people. the people picking and packing and pulling orders and working like that have to be you have to find the lowest common denominator. You know, they could be this unskilled and they're still fine. But I'm only saying all this in relation to a system. Build a great system and you can hire anyone. It's lower cost, easier to replace, and less mistakes and all that. I hope that helps, Roland. All right, next question is from Zach Williams. And the question is, I would like to test different pricing on my website to see which prices result in higher profitability. So balancing sales and profit margin. What is the best way to go about this? My business is cellar door plants. We ship a variety of exotic live plants across the United States. So, Zach, I'm not a tactician. I can't tell you what's the exact thing to do. I have people who work for me who could better answer this question. Um, but we have tried different pricing, and you can try that either broadly on the website and for a month, try pricing like this, and a different month try pricing like this. I don't know that your customers are coming back every week to buy more exotic plants, right? So if that's the case, you can just do a site-wide price change. You can charge $40 today and then tomorrow charge 30. So what it looks like you're trying to get at is total profit dollars. That's what you're aiming for, right? Because who cares that you make $100 on one sale if you only made one sale? Then your total profit dollars for the month is 100 minus your cost. Let's say your cost is 20, you made $80. That's not exciting. But once you calculate that out, whatever you do, just take the data and chart it out, put it in a Google Sheet and look at it and see, okay, so I made 500 sales at $100 each. That gave me this much, and here's my total profit on that. Or I made 400 sales, I made 100 less sales, but I did them all at $120 each. And in my head, I can't calculate that, but and figure out what gave me the most total profit dollars. I look at that. I enjoy looking at that because profit margin is fantastic. You know, I'm shooting always for 35% net profit at the end of all expenses, including salaries and everything. And I'm shooting for 75% gross profit margins. But all of that is meaningless if the total dollars are very low, right? So what do I get out of making 100% profit? I doubled everything and I made so much money. It was fantastic, but I only sold one of them. So total profit dollars, I think, is what you're shooting at. And I'm sure you're a smart person that can calculate that and see what works best for you. I hope that helps, Zach. Next question is from Lindsay Grifka. She's my Facebook friend. All right, the question is, what are things I should take into consideration when developing my first ever influencer campaign and working with influencers? I'm in the cannabis industry with a product company, and I want to create my first influencer marketing plan. And let's see here, it continues. Elevator pitch at Blink Blunts. Oh, so this is the elevator pitch. We break stereotypes and promote self-expression and confidence by offering innovative and chic personal stories. Oh, this is different. I don't know what was, maybe something was pasted here that doesn't go there, but okay, so let's get back to the question. Things you should take into consideration when developing your first ever influencer campaign and working with influencers. Well, first of all, this is the way I attack everything. I would probably talk to 5 people who are successful in their business and who have done exactly this. Because if let's say you weighed 600 pounds and you wanted to lose weight, are you going to ask advice of a 400 pound or a 700 pound person or 800 pound person? You're going to ask advice of someone, hopefully, who used to be morbidly obese and is now fit, and you want to follow those footsteps. I always think that. So I reach out to a lot of people in my network for help whenever I want to grow and learn about something. And the best conversations have always been from the people who've done it. It's just like, it's why college is not the most appealing thing to me, because a lot of those professors are teaching because they never really did it in real life and they're just teaching from a book. And I have a degree and I started a master's program and I got out of it as soon as I asked some questions and the professors couldn't answer me and I knew the answers. I was testing them and I started realizing these guys don't know anything. So you don't ask a textbook, you don't ask, you could do a Google search to get some basic knowledge, I suppose. You could look at YouTube, but the best thing is to look at the people who are doing it. In AO, there are people who know how to work with influencers. I can tell you some of the pitfalls, and they'll tell you better. Um, some of the pitfalls might be being very generous on your part and reaching out to everybody and say, I want to send you free stuff. And you send all this free stuff, and then they go dark on you and they go silent and they don't respond and they just keep your stuff. I have a client, a coaching client who's had that happen. They don't want to they don't want to buy the stuff. They're just getting free stuff, and maybe they'll post, maybe they won't. So unless you want to spend a lot of money testing it until you find the right ones, that's one solution. Something that I saw this week about influencers is pretty interesting. My wife received a message on Instagram saying, "We'd like you to be an influencer for us. Are you interested?" And she wasn't going to respond, but it came in as I was with her, and I told her, just say yes, see what happens. She said yes, and then she got this message saying, "We'd love for you to be an influencer with us. We're this apparel company. You can find us here, and what we offer you is for you to buy whatever you'd like right now, and you get a 30% off coupon. And then every time you promote us, use this coupon code, and anybody who uses it, we're going to pay you X amount." So they've just hedged all their bets. It's totally secure. I don't know if it works for them, but it's pretty secure because initially they get that sale and it's 30% off, but so what? They're still making money. And number two, now they have this person out there fighting for them and trying to push them clients, and those might be micro influencers. You're probably talking, they're reaching out to people who have 2,000 followers or who knows what. But if you've got 50 of those who agreed and you automate that process and nobody has to touch it, then who cares? If they each get you one sale a month and you just got 50 more new clients, right? And then they're probably going to forget that coupon code in the future and you've got them locked in as your client. So there is an investment there. You're going to lose money up front, but you're investing in getting that client. I really believe if you've got a product that's really good and people are going to continue to come back, then it doesn't matter if that first transaction doesn't make money. I mean, try to make money. I always want to make money on every transaction, but if you're thinking long term and you know the lifetime value of that client might be $800, then who cares if the first transaction you made zero? You'll make it over your time. So I hope that helps, Lindsay. You can always reach out on Facebook or through the AO portal on Facebook, and hopefully we can dig deeper. All right, guys, thank you very much. I hope you have a great day, and I hope the quality of this video was okay. Like many of you, I am dealing with, let's see, we've got probably 4 computers running downstairs. It's COVID, kids are home, and internet is slow. Yesterday, I had my AO forum meeting with my team, and I kept wondering, with all these laptops running, how slow the internet connection is. But having said that, I want to share something with you that I shared with my wife when she was freaking out a week ago when school was going to start, and we were all in the house and just fearing the worst. And I think this set her at ease a little bit. And it's that I told her, expect for everything to look ugly. Expect for there to be connection issues. Expect for problems, and I can't hear the teacher, and the teacher can't see me, and I can't work on it. So we have 4 kids. One's away at military school. The other 3 are here, and we have a neighbor's kid working here. So it's 4 kids on a computer, and she's helping all of them. As soon as she started uh, letting that sink in, she says, "You know what? You're right. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, come on. Who remembers their first week of first grade, second grade, third? I don't remember last week. So who cares that you didn't get to hear the teacher read you the syllabus for the first day? It doesn't matter. So a lot of things I think we freak out because it's a bunch of noise and it's a bunch of just outside pressure. So the point of the story is relax, meditate, for 2 minutes, and you'll feel much better. So that's it. Getting off my soapbox. I hope that helps, and I hope everyone's having a great day.